The YNW Melly trial is ongoing in Florida, where he's on trial for allegedly murdering two of his childhood friends. And just the other day, the judge sanctioned the prosecution over an evidence discovery violation. According to local10.com, the judge in the trial of Florida rapper YNW Melly said on Wednesday that the prosecution had violated the rules of discovery, a process of gathering information in preparation for the trial. Jamel Melly Demons could face the death penalty if convicted of the October 26, 2018 murders of his fellow YNW collective rappers Christopher Juvie Thomas Jr. and Anthony Sackchaser Williams. Attorney David Howard, who is defending Demons, criticized the state's handling of the evidence by continuing to test it for new findings after the discovery deadline. Quote, "It's not only an ambush, but it's an insult to the process," Howard said. Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy, who is presiding over Demons' trial, sanctioned the state after ruling there had been a discovery violation. Quote, "It shouldn't be done by surprise," end quote, Murphy said in the court about the findings of a new test that was done on existing evidence and that the state did not share with the defense. And the article goes on, but essentially the judge ruled that the prosecution can't introduce this new evidence that was some testing that Detective Moretti was doing. And the judge said that the prosecutor can call the detective to testify, but the detective cannot testify about this new testing that they were doing. So it's a small win for Melly in the court, and I mean, he is on trial for what would be the death penalty if he's convicted, and they rule that it would have to be 8 out of the 12 jurors would have to vote for the death penalty. I did see on another channel that they were saying that there have been two cases where the death penalty was granted with this lower threshold that Florida has now. And the, I don't know if it was the appellate court or the Supreme Court, but they stayed the death penalty because of the new threshold. So the attorney that was speaking about it said that that could happen in this case too if Melly were to get the death penalty, but I think that it's just going to be one of those things where we have to wait and see. Right now, the state isn't having an easy time putting a case together. You would think where they had over 4 years to prepare that they would have all their ducks in a row, so to speak, but it hasn't been going that way. The prosecutor put on Melly's ex-girlfriend's mother, and she was supposed to say that she saw Melly on the side of the road in I think a FaceTime call with her daughter, and that he had said that he thought Juvie and Sackchaser were dead, but that didn't end up happening. The ex-girlfriend's mother did not like the prosecutor at all. She ended up being pretty hostile to her, but I mean, if you think of the circumstances, they subpoenaed the mother. She said she never got the subpoena, so they ended up the prosecutor put her in jail, and then she put an ankle monitor on her, and so the woman said she had to leave her job because the ankle monitor made her look like a criminal. She basically said the prosecutor had ruined her life, and so she didn't do the prosecutor any favors, and the prosecutor should have just, ended the questioning and got her off the stand, but it did not go that way. The woman said she felt threatened by the prosecutor, and the defense, when they cross-examined her, they only had one question, and all they said was, "Who do you feel threatened by?" And she said, "The prosecutor, Christine Bradley." And so then instead of the prosecutor just leaving it alone and letting it go, she got back up and under redirect, she said, "You feel threatened by me? Why do you feel threatened by me?" And just really went into another 5 to 10 minutes of questioning of why the woman felt threatened by her and trying to establish that, she hadn't verbally threatened her, but I mean, she did throw her in jail and put an ankle monitor on her. And then the jury heard all about that because of the redirect mostly. So yeah, it made her unwillingness to answer the questions seem more reasonable when you heard how she was thrown in jail and how the detectives threatened her to throw her daughter in jail and charge her as an accessory after the fact. And it made her behavior much more understandable from my point of view when, she, sorry, my dog is snoring outside of my bathroom and it's a little distracting. Um, it just made it more understandable why she didn't want to help the prosecutor and just answer the questions. And then the prosecutor implied that she'd been bribed, and that didn't go over so well either. But the case just isn't coming together exactly how you would expect it to, where they had so much time to prepare for it. I mean, they can prove that he got in the car at the studio when they all got in the car together. They can prove that he got in the car, but they can't prove that he stayed in the car. Um, so they are putting on witnesses to say that, well, his cell phone was in the car, but then the defense is saying they don't even know for sure that it's his cell phone. So I don't know, I just would have expected much more concrete evidence that he was the one who committed the shooting at this point, and it just hasn't necessarily played out that way. Um, but I will keep you guys updated. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. And if there's anything else you want us to cover, then please just leave it in the comments. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks.